mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yes, you love me and I love you. Putting on for my people, the love for heroes, building community. Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, can you hear me now? 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 Hear me now.
Hello, hello. Did you know that by 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be retirement age? Welcome to Gone Mad Presents. I'm your host, Lady Madelyn Patterson, with my co-host, Miss Beautiful Vicki Lynn Merriweather. We got a great show today. Today we're talking about something that sounds like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, but it's actually happening right now in wellness clinics all across the world. Peptides, not to be confused with Pepsi or Peptides, with multiple little flavors like that. But aging is inevitable. But how we age is increasingly becoming a choice. These tiny chains of amino acids are being called everything from fountain of youth molecules to biological text messages for your cells. They're changing how we think about wellness, vitality, and yes, longevity. So today, we're separating fact from fiction with our expert guest,
I'm Jonathan, yes.
Escobedo. It's Jonathan Escobedo, who's going to help us understand if peptides are truly the next frontier in longevity or just another kind of expensive way to make very expensive, well, you know what, just kind of throwing money at something. Jonathan, our expert here, he's going to be the one that's going to share fact from fiction and help us kind of navigate this place that we're in. So this show is for everybody, whether in your 20s and you want to think about longevity, or in your 60s and 70s and want to kind of do some rejuvenation. Jonathan Escobedo is here to talk with us about peptides. Welcome, Jonathan.
Yes, thank you for having me here today. I'm very excited to talk about the peptides. I'm with Esthetique De Luxe in Austin, Texas, so we do a lot of wellness, regenerative medicine, also longevity, helping patients live longer. So you're right, peptides are little amino acids that kind of connect, and they tell the body cells what to do. So it's really cool. It's a natural way to kind of say, hey, do this, produce this hormone, burn some fat, build some muscle, help me sleep. Various things in the body these peptides can help, which is so amazing. It's kind of like a lock and key telling the cells what to do. So I kind
go ahead.
I have some things to talk about today, just a little bit about different peptides. So there's certain types that can affect different things, like I said. So one in particular can help with body composition, and your fitness and the way you are. So it's a growth hormone peptides. So those are things like Samorelin. If you heard online, you can see people trying to sell Samorelin. Also Tesamorelin or Ipamorelin or other peptides that are so helpful. So when it comes to Samorelin, it's kind of a basic peptide that helps you increase your number of growth hormones. So as we age, about the age of 30 and above, we lose our growth hormone levels. So things go down. So we can not actually become as resistant as we used to be,
So when you're talking about growth hormones, are you talking, does that mean like my muscle mass, or maybe, I guess, muscle, or what are other things that might be impacted by?
So think when you're younger, we're growing, right? We have a lot of growth hormone when you're younger. Growing skin cells, growing collagen, we're growing
energy and all of
energy,
that. Okay.
We're growing nerve cells, brain cells. So growth hormone is going to help with a lot of the parts of the body. So helping you with getting back to feeling younger, kind of revamping how you feel based on being able to burn fat easier, being able to gain muscle easier, being able to think a little bit more clearly. So a lot of properties that could help.
Okay, with the peptides.
Yeah, they're peptides. What I think my question, and originally I'm still a little bit lost on it, is how do they impact the body? It's like, because I know you said it can possibly help like your nervous system and some other stuff. how does it impact? How does it work with the body? Is I guess the question.
So it's not like something that you put foreign, like, you know, like back in the day they have foreign growth hormone that could grow like organs and things that abnormally and can make you get muscle and things. This is actually telling your body to produce more growth hormone. So it's actually talking to your body to do its natural processes, which is so amazing, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so when you were talking about key earlier, it's kind of a little messenger unlocking a doorway or a pathway.
Correct.
Allowing your body to be the one that actually produces
Correct.
the things that it needs. So it's not an injection of something, it's unlocking.
Correct. It's just using amino acids, which is essentially protein, right? So little amino acids in a different sequence. Each sequence has a different key, and that helps the body do what it's supposed to do in those ways. So, like for instance, tesamorelin is one that's out there. Helps with growth hormone. Also helps with visceral fat. It's indicated by FDA for HIV patients with lipodystrophy, meaning that if they have a little bit more visceral organ fat in their abdomen, kind of that belly, this will actually help digest that fat and build it out the body and get you leaner as well, and build that growth hormone to affect the whole body. So there's various peptides. It's so interesting that you can pick one from, you know, libido to help with libido. You can pick one to help with sleeping. You can do as well one to help with cognition. Another one to help with nails and hair and skin. So there's so much out there that's so beneficial. It's just that certain peptide amino acid sequence that tells the body, hey, let's act this way and let's do this.
Oh, that's interesting. Brain is kind of going.
Yeah.
So in that capacity, so when they visit, so it's not like this is not like a wonder pill, wonder amino acid that just does everything. No. It's really something that they meet with you, a specialist, and you guys are having a conversation, and based upon that client's what's going on with them,
correct,
you can say, oh, based upon that, here's the thing for
what
you.
I recommend. Yeah, exactly. It's like we cater and make a suggestion for you based on your life experience and your needs and your goals. So if you're saying, hey, I want to build more muscle, okay, well, we have a peptide that can help build more muscle. Hey, I want to lose more fat or get lean, then there's one for that. Like I have a patient, for instance, that has been on Ambien for so long, and she's trying to get off of it, been so dependent. So we're tapering off this Ambien, giving her a peptide called DSIP, deep sleep inhibiting peptide, that actually helps her sleep naturally. So now we're tapering off that medication.
The Ambien is an antidepressant, or it's a sleep aid.
It's actually a sleep aid, and it can be something that you can become addicted to and dependent on if you take it for too long.
Yeah.
So that's what we're helping her with. We have other patients who have immune issues. So Crohn's disease, really bad, was on things like immunosuppressant medications that affect her immune system. Got her off those medications, got her on thymosin alpha, which is an immune builder, and she's actually feeling better and back to herself. So there's things that help with just regenerating the body and helping with taking away medication, conventional medication.
So
go ahead.
In that process, what is... Okay, so we've been taking these things for a while, and if I started on a peptide journey, what kind of results? Like, will I know immediately? Will I start to feel, or how do I manage and gauge what's happening? Like, do I wait 2 weeks like nothing's happening?
Yeah.
Or how does that kind of work?
Dependent on the peptide, right? So your goals, let's say if it's a sleep one, then it would work within a week or two, right? And you could take it as a needed basis, but we wouldn't just take you off the med completely. It's a taper down kind of system, and with the provider who knows what they're doing, they can help you do that. And it's just that kind of looking at that dosing wise, because peptides can be dosed differently too. So as a provider, you're going to dose it. It's like medicine, essentially. So you're going to give them a certain dose, maybe starting, see how they tolerate, then kind of evaluate and see how they're progressing. And if we need to go up, we go up. Less meds for me is best for everyone. That's what I feel.
Yeah, same.
I think because you and I were talking once, and you were talking about ADHD.
Yeah.
And I know you work with patients that have or had ADHD or have been diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
Are you using the same process with them?
So
or is it a different process?
So it depends on them. So some people, go for the conventional medications, and that's what they are looking for, and that's what they need at the moment. Some people are hesitant because a lot of these peptides are not FDA approved.
Yeah.
So then they get hesitant, and they don't have any. They're kind of scared, even though these peptides have been used for 10 plus years. They still get hesitant. So it's the comfort level of the patient and the confidence they have in the provider that ultimately makes the decision. But when they get some of those other meds, like ADD meds, sometimes those can be draining on the body, addictive in a way. So those I prefer to do less of in other methods. So
Yeah.
You mentioned a few of the peptides. What are some of the more common ones, and how are they targeting and used for the body?
So let's talk about Ozempic, right? Ozempic, yeah.
Ozempic's a peptide.
It's a peptide. So Ozempic is a peptide, a GLP. It's a glucagon-like peptide. And actually, we use that in medicine now, right, for weight loss. So we have Ozempic, semaglutide. We have Mounjaro, tirzepatide. So those work in the body by signaling the body what to do. So they both help with the body to slow down the GI tract, making you feel a little bit fuller. Also helping the brain feel satisfied with meals. So you're going to eat less calories and you'll lose more. There's also a newer one on the market called retitrogide, and that one actually is in third stage trials with FDA. And that one has a third component that actually helps with burning of fat and giving energy. So not only that you'll lose the weight, but you'll lose the right weight. And when it comes to my clinic, what sets us apart is the fact that, we look at the patient's goals for weight loss with these injections, but we also evaluate what kind of weight you're losing. Are we losing fat? Are we losing muscle? That retitrogide is actually helpful for maintaining muscle and keeping the fat off, which is the best part. It's still under trials and it's available, but sometimes people get a little hesitant because of the FDA approval.
Right. That's interesting. I've seen, we hear GLP. I didn't realize
That P is a peptide.
The P
Yeah.
Wow. So we're already using these things
Correct.
right now.
Correct, and it's just, and it targets different ways, and you do different recommendations. Some people will do well on semaglutide Ozempic, some won't. Some will do better on Mounjaro tirzepatide, some will do better on retitrogide. It just depends, but as a whole, I look at the patient in regards to their full health, right? What are we doing for exercise? What are we doing for diet? What are we doing for hydration? And what are we doing as our goal? Like, what is a healthy weight goal? I don't give you a goal to say, hey, this is your weight goal. It's all personal, What do you feel best at? Do you feel best at this weight or this weight? It's all up to you as a patient, because I'm not going to tell you, be 120 pounds and then you'll look like a stick. You know what I mean? No, but you just got to be based on what you prefer and how you feel best. So
I like that too. And I don't know if this is this Madelyn thinking, but it appears that even some of the messages that we're seeing now is there's not a one size fits all. We're now, it feels like we're starting to embrace the individual's composition and the individual's makeup and what feels and looks good
for them. Correct.
And I just think that's a great space that we're in now, because I remember coming up, there were certain looks and people were doing all kinds of things to their body just to meet that standard. But there's offerings of how do we use our bodies naturally. We might need some help.
Yes.
But your clinic works with that individual.
Correct.
To come up with what that is for them.
It's like a customized treatment plan, for that per patient, because they're gonna have different needs, different goals, different activity. When I give you activity, if someone comes to me and I look at their steps, I say, what are your steps averaging? Oh, it averages 3,000 a day. I'm not gonna give you a 10,000 a day step goal. I'm gonna give you like 5,000. I'm gonna base it on your current activity, your current ability to eat, what you can eat. Those things I always base it on. Just your preference and the way you are as a person.
Yeah. I like that. I'm already thinking of some. I might have to go see Jonathan. I want to just jump into a little bit of. So, because some of these are not approved through the FDA, what are some research that has been done that kind of can ease people's minds on some of this stuff?
So a bunch of research, definitely. There's a lot of research articles. I just went to an actual training in Cancun for regenerative medicine. It's an international training of stem cell applications society. So it was really amazing. I saw other providers all over the world. People are using these peptides. There's a lot of evidence they're doing for science and evidence-based practice. So it's readily available. So if a patient's kind of uncomfortable, I can prove some evidence, show some studies that we've been done. And also, these peptides are not like a chemical thing, right? It's telling the body what to do. So really, It's your body naturally producing these things.
Yeah, I like that.
So when you look at all that you're talking about, because I know we talked about the weight loss, but
Mm-hmm.
and you talked a little bit about how they help the rest of the body.
Yeah.
What other things do they do beside weight loss?
Yes, yes. So other things they do. So for sure, there's one called BPC 157. That one's a body protection complex, and it's called 157. But originally, it helps with angiogenesis, which is creation of new vessels. So when you have any kind of damage in your body, let's say that you're training. When you work out and you build muscle, you're breaking muscle to build muscle. So there's damage. Well, this will produce some vessels to help circulation and help heal it faster. Same thing with if you have any current damages in your body. Let's say some knee issues, arthritis. It goes to the area, builds a little bit of vessel production, helps with the healing process of that.
Like you said, arthritis.
Some arthritis, it can help with the pain. So for sure. So my assistant, actually, she had some shoulder problems, or no, elbow problems, I'm sorry. And she kept working on it. And I told her, let's take this BPC 157 with TB 500, a kind of complex called the Wolverine complex. And, within a week, she was like, I don't have pain. It's better. Like, she's feeling a lot better without medicine.
You just made a pun. When you said Wolverine,
Yeah.
that my head, I'm like, regeneration.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right, Wolverine.
And actually, some of these things I've known in the past, and some athletes would use these. So some professional sports, they're actually banned. So because it helps with too much regeneration, too much building of muscle. So with competitive sports, sometimes they're banned. But with the normal person who needs some healing properties, things to get better, we're looking at the longevity of your life, repairing what you have, and making yourself live healthy and longer.
So these are different than steroids.
Way different than steroids.
So can you explain the difference between steroids and a peptide? Because if people are thinking about regeneration, I should, because people use steroids
Yeah.
to build up. So what would be the difference between?
So steroids are going to be a chemical, a foreign chemical steroid that can trigger your body to do these things, right? It's going to actually be a foreign thing. This is going to be amino acids that tells the body what to do, versus putting all this foreign hormone that's going to overload your hormones, maybe affect your reproductive function, affect your organs, liver, and those things in a negative way. So that's what it is. Those steroids, they're pretty much outdated because some peptides can do what steroids have done without any side effects.
Wow. We are making some advances in medicine. Now, you had mentioned that some of these are not FDA approved. Does insurance is this a thing that's within, I guess, like a preventative maintenance type of thing, or how does that?
Not quite yet. Just some of the GLPs like tirzepatide and Ozempic, right? Those are covered with insurance if you do have a diagnosis of diabetes. Sometimes your insurance will cover it if you're obese and need weight loss. But for the most part, a lot of them aren't covered with insurance quite yet, unfortunately. It could be, just because they need to be FDA approved, right? So when the FDA approves something, then that kind of tells the insurance company it's okay for this. But if you use it off-label for something else, let's say that someone wants to lose a little weight that's not quite obese, they can do some of these injections, GLPs, smaller dosing, very carefully, get the weight that they want to be at, and still, do well. But it's not going to be FDA approved for that person.
Gotcha. Okay, for that reason.
That reason.
Gotcha. Okay. Ooh. I want to talk a little bit about some success stories.
Yeah.
Can you share? I know you talked about your assistant and the elbow, but can you share something where it was a significant change for the better for anybody that has gone through something like this, getting off of those? I don't want to say controlled substances, but the prescriptive medicines and some of the other things that are in the body. Do you have any examples of somebody that's kind of gone through that?
Yes.
Like, wow, can you talk a little bit about
Yeah, for
share that
sure,
story?
for sure. I have a patient that, for instance, has diabetes, high number of sugar, was on something like metformin, very light, worked on with the GLPs, got those better, right? The numbers better slowly, got off the metformin, but we were doing, kind of a game, we're talking to each other and communicating and working on this plan together. So, every month looking at their weight. So one patient of mine, never really active, but I guess, I don't know, somehow I motivated her, right? And which is great. She's climbing now and doing
Wow.
things and hiking and getting so many miles, losing, you know, a good amount of weight every month. Less medication we need to do. Her blood pressure improved quite a bit, so she got off those medications, and then now we're in a process to taper her off the GLPs. So with GLPs, you know, you're not going to be on this forever, and you don't want to quit these cold turkey. That's 100%
Really?
important, because if you do, I've had one client, for instance, that didn't follow my guidelines, and I said, hey, please don't quit this all of a sudden, because you'll gain the weight back. And she came back to me 20 pounds heavier and gained it back in 1 month. And I said, whoa, that's too fast. You know, we need to get off the med little by little, taper, so your body gets adjusted, because you get used to something for so long.
That's what happened to someone I know.
Yeah.
They just stopped
Cold turkey.
cold turkey because they saw something online or read something. And now they've gained that back
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. It happens quickly. But, you know, it's not even bad to be on these as a microdosing way, too. So let's say a microdose is the smallest amount, because there's some evidence and some studies showing that it's going to prevent Alzheimer's, some dementias. Anything inflammatory really helps with the body.
Inflammation.
It's a big key for our longevity.
And you know, some of the stuff that we eat also
Correct.
causes inflammation.
Correct. It's important to have a good immune system and inflammation down. So there's a thing called leaky gut, actually. So leaky gut is when you're eating things, you know, that's maybe inflammatory wise, the body may not digest it correctly, it may not go and filter out everything, and it leaks into the system. Then we have inflammation in different areas, and it can do things like cause immune issues, immuno problems, you know, things like various things can be triggered because things are leaking in that sense. It's not really digested correctly.
So when you talk about even that, and it was two questions I guess I had. One is, even when you're on some of the peptides for weight loss,
Yeah.
or diabetes or whatever, I know you still encourage people to get out there and work out and watch what they eat and do the same thing, because it's not one of those things where you're doing the peptide, you still have to change the old habits.
Correct. So when you eat less of the food, right, we're getting used to new habits. A lot of habits I try to engrave in my patients is eating like every 4 hours some type of protein, right? Keeping that energy going so you don't go in starvation mode, hold on to sugars and fats.
Wait a minute, okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Every 4 hours?
So every 4 hours would be essential in my opinion, in the way that I work with patients and the goals that they've met. You know, because 4 hours, protein will last like 4 hours in your body for energy. When you don't have any energy, your body wants to store fat and sugars. So then ultimately you're going to run out of energy without feeling hungry. Then you're just storing things, and it's not good, like a hibernation almost.
So it's not bad that I graze throughout the day.
It's really good to graze.
Okay, wait.
But the right kind of graze.
Yeah,
huh?
thank you. Because when you say graze, I know it's harder to eat like big portions.
Yeah.
And so every 4 hours, you do encourage like proteins.
Yeah, protein.
But it doesn't have to be large amounts. Like,
No.
you know
Size
how
of
we've
your
been
palm,
taught to.
very small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we've
like
been taught
grazing.
to gotta eat this big breakfast.
But not
big
gummy
lunch.
bears and
Yeah.
stuff, Madeline.
No, is that grazing for you?
All right.
No.
Yeah, I got a little outed.
No,
I
you're
do
good.
like
I'm
the gummy
sorry,
bears.
Like gummy
but
bears?
I mean, what I do is sometimes,
Yeah,
and so I have
yeah.
to watch, get used to eating.
Yeah.
Healthy stuff, the right stuff.
Yeah.
And a cool
yeah.
thing about these shots too is sometimes they'll trigger a couple of things. So you'll get nauseous sometimes with these shots, right? It's a side effect of it, acid reflux, if you eat the wrong thing sometimes. So if you eat something very fatty, very sugary, oftentimes you're going to feel sick and not want it again. So then overall, you're going to train your brain and stay away from those things. Or if you don't eat enough or you're too far away from your meals, you'll get nauseous. And it's like, it's a time to eat. It's your body saying, hey, nothing's here to digest. Let's eat something.
That might be a good thing because sometimes I think we eat when we're bored.
We're eating when we're bored, we eat when we're stressed, we eat
Yeah.
when we're,
Open the refrigerator like, what do you
it's
want?
it's
I don't
like
know.
when we're not paying attention to
Yeah.
what's going on up here, then we'll
And it helps
we'll
the
eat.
brain calm it down.
Yeah,
It
'cause
does,
yeah,
it does.
I had to learn, and I don't do this often, but if I'm working at the computer,
Yeah.
I try not to be eating because then I get I'm not mindful of what I'm putting in my mouth, and I'm just
It's just kind of a habit.
eating.
almost.
Yeah, it's just a habit. So I think
So it helps with
I
that.
need to look at my grazing
Yeah.
habits and find better things to graze on, and not gummy bears as much.
What else do you
Well,
have?
except
I've
I make some
occasionally.
homemade gummy bears.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's move on from that one.
I digress.
Yeah. When you talk about leaky gut,
Yeah, leaky gut.
because I know you talk about that sometimes, and
Yeah.
there's what do you do for the gut? What kind of things can you do for that
So
particular?
for the gut health, right? Making sure inflammation is down in the body, making sure we're not eating all these toxic things. Unfortunately, in the U.S., I have to be real with you, things are not so healthy. You know, if we go,
What?
Oh, gosh.
if we go to let's say Italy, right?
Yeah.
And you want to get a piece of bread, like a loaf. It has 3 ingredients. You go to the U.S. here, it has 30. Why is there 30 in the U.S. and 3 in Italy? Because the EU restricts a lot of the ability to put preservatives and things that make them last longer so they can sell. And those things aren't good for us. They're chemicals inflaming the body. So sometimes it's hard to find the right stuff in the U.S., but you know it's important to just be aware of what you're eating and making sure it's the best quality that you can get here. I know.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
But then you do, I know you because we're going to talk
Yeah.
about this a little bit more, but I met Jonathan through Dr. Clark
Yes.
when you were there before you started your own practice.
Correct.
So I have a lot of confidence in him, number one.
Thank you.
But you both emphasize probiotics.
Correct.
What else goes in here?
Probiotics, prebiotics as well. Anything that's going to help the gut kind of digest correctly. Because oftentimes when we take medications like, let's say antibiotics, we'll kill all the good and bad bacteria that's available. So there's good bacteria that helps you digest, and it can affect the stomach and things of that sort.
Wait a minute. Wait. Okay. Say that again. You said.
Yeah.
I just had to finish some antibiotics.
Oh,
So, antibiotics do what now?
So they can kill good and bad bacteria. We have good bacteria on our skin, on our inside our stomach, things to help digest, to protect ourselves. And there's also the bad bacteria, right, that causes infections. That's the kind of foreign that's not good for us. So the antibiotic can kill both. So oftentimes there's problems with like females getting maybe yeast infections sometimes because the good flora of the vaginal area, bacteria is gone. So then they're at risk for growing yeast. So oftentimes we'll tell them, you know, to be on a probiotic, make sure you have some Greek yogurt, something available that can help build that good probiotic so you can prevent those things from happening.
Yeah. And you are a nurse practitioner. Let me
Yes.
get back to your credentials so people understand you
Yes.
are really a professional at what you do. You're
Definitely.
going to have to help me out. I know you're a nurse practitioner, but
Uh-huh.
what else would you include in that?
So a nurse practitioner, I've had maybe, how much experience now? Like over 20 years of, 15 years of experience from, you know, geriatric care to hospice care to managing nurses to working in family practice to doing aesthetic work to doing wellness to doing regeneration. I mean, just a variety of experience. So I've seen, you know, from elders taking polypharmacy, so many medications and the way that they have and helping people end of life. It's just a bunch of variety, which I like to say that helped me become who I am today.
Yeah, because one of the questions I did want to ask is, because I do have some understanding of who you are. How did you get interested in the wellness part of this?
Wellness. Honestly, a personal journey of myself. So was not happy with the way I was looking, not happy with the diet I was eating. I was getting this fast food before, doing all these bad things, and I'm thinking, what am I doing to myself? Trying to gain the weight a little, you know. Then I started working with the trainer, working on different body parts, then trying to doing, you know, different diet, working on like controlling my calories and some macros, you know, protein versus fat versus carbs. Did all that and then, you know, learn more about the peptides, learn more about the wellness and the longevity. And for me, it's something that I live every day. So these peptides that we're talking about, I personally take. And I live through this, and it's so beneficial. You know, it helps me so much get through the hard times of, you know, why am I eating this bad food? Why am I not exercising? And all of a sudden, it just turns things on. And you feel a better person. You're more motivated to work out. You're motivated to eat better, you know. It's something that just gets ingrained to you as a lifestyle.
So you've been doing this for a minute. Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen change in the trajectory in this space? Because wellness, I don't know if that was really something talked about and emphasized 10, 15 years ago. So just talk about like the changes that you've seen in this space coming into?
It's spectacular because before, we were all thought, let's go to the doctor, let's get medicines. Medicines are the key. But people are becoming more technology savvy, using AI. I've had patients come with me with an AI list of peptides of what they think is the best peptide. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty accurate, but
really?
sometimes it can be, sometimes it can't be. But, it's interesting that we are so savvy now that we can learn these things aren't good for us, like these medications. So what do we do for our bodies so we can live longer and be healthier?
One thing that was interesting when you were talking with the peptides, well, with traditional medicine, you can be on it for the rest of your life. But I kind of heard you say that this is intended for you to wean off at some point. You can be weaned off of it,
depending on the peptide.
Depending on the peptide.
Yeah.
So it's something as your body's. I guess what I'm trying to say is, the other ones is like, here you go, just take your medicine and leave. But this is more of a journey.
Correct. And that's what I like for my patients in general. When I'm working family practice, I don't want to give them another med. I give them an opportunity to do lifestyle changes first. If it's their blood pressure too, even if it's really, really high to, affect their health, like heart attack, stroke, of course they're going to need some medication. But I don't want to give that unless they absolutely won't do any changes or that nothing's working. I want that to be the last resort. I want them to put the ball in their court and say, hey, this is what you can do. And I've had patients do that with diabetes, for instance. They like, hey, you need to exercise and diet. They didn't need the medication anymore, and they became out of diabetes to pre-diabetes to normal, all on their own.
Now I'm kind of out of myself, because after my father died, I went back to Dr. Clark, and she was like, "You are no longer pre-diabetic; you are diabetic," and she didn't want to put me on metformin because metformin actually damages your kidneys, and so she put me on Manjaro. And you've helped out with that quite a bit as well. And I will say, Jonathan and Dr. Clark are my go-tos when it comes to this stuff because I trust them. Now, I don't know. I know my numbers for, what is it, the A1C has dropped to like a 5.6 or 5.5.
So
it's down.
That's under pre-diabetes, so normal level.
I don't even know what my numbers are.
Well,
Shame to say.
they make me keep up with it. So.
And if I told Doctor she gonna see this, be like, see, you should know your numbers, Madelyn.
No, come on by. We'll get you some lab work.
And I have my lab work. I just need to look.
We got to leave
Oh my gosh! But that's the kind of stuff that I think that gives me a little confidence about where we're going with health, because all medications, even though it's a difference between wellness and medicating, to me.
Yeah.
Medicating with the traditional medications. If I'm talking about I want to be well, I want to get well. I'm not just taking a medication to get fixed.
Yeah, I can be kind of frank about it. It's like putting a Band-Aid on it. You're just putting a Band-Aid on your disease, taking a medication. You're not fixing it. You're not helping it get better. You're just helping it lower the numbers, helping lower your risk for things, but it's not necessarily fixing it. Diet, exercise, some peptides, they can help you get things better overall. It's like
basically having your body do the work versus mask.
Yes, mask the symptoms.
Mask the symptoms.
Which is much better, I feel. We don't want to just put because some medications will have a side effect, then you need another medication for that. Then you need another medication for that. And it's like nonstop. It's like, okay, all these meds are being added, and what am I doing about myself? You got to do something a little bit more. Wellness is that area to do so.
So the world of health itself is changing tremendously. So wish some people would catch up with that, but it is. I'm not going to say who.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it is, because even, I learned all this stuff from these two, Jonathan, Dr. Clark. I'm sitting there, because even with ketamine treatments, which I'm going to see a therapist for that, because I want to experience it before I'd say tell a client to do it.
Yeah, that's I'm all about that.
Wait, what's ketamine treatment?
You have to.
So ketamine is like originally like a horse tranquilizer. It used to be used as a drug from people, kind of like a party drug, and now they have small doses that they can infuse a patient to and put them through a kind of little trip. So this trip will actually help people get through PTSD and various problems, because they kind of relive this with a really trained, experienced provider, right? You need someone that's not just going to give it and don't know what to do. Check their vitals, make sure they're okay, have them relax, and then it helps them kind of relive this trauma, but get it out their system in a way. So then they feel better.
So it's coupled kind of with therapy.
Therapy, mental health.
Well, and I'm throwing this out there, but the person that I want to work with does, after you come out of the ketamine treatment, you go straight into EMDR, which I'm interested in doing. And I had another question about something else, but I just lost it.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not you, it's me. Because it was something else that we were talking about. The training, the other thing that
for the mushroom kind of microdosing, yeah, that's also a thing as well. So certain mushrooms can induce a little trip. There's some TV shows out there that actually talk about taking a tea and those things, and it's like I forget the show, but anyways, that it can do that. But under medical supervision, they're proving that this can help you get through traumas as well and think a little bit more clearly. And think about it, it's just a mushroom that you're taking, not like a chemical pill.
And I think that's the reason I brought that up, is because we are moving from a place where the traditional medications, they can cause more damage in all areas, to a place where people are well. I mean, truly get well about with their health and their mental health and their, especially their physical health.
Correct.
Yeah. So, what advice, what can somebody do if their insurance doesn't cover, but they're interested in learning more and maybe dabbling a little bit in peptides and trying to, or even, are peptides different than vitamins?
Peptides are different than vitamins. So vitamins are things that we need to kind of survive, and nutrients, right? So things like vitamin C for immune system. There's other vitamins like vitamin D that we get from the sun that helps with our energy, helps with sleeping and mood. There's a lot of vitamins that our body naturally needs from nutrition and consumption of food, versus the peptides are going to be just triggering the body to do actions.
Okay.
Because you still recommend that we do vitamins.
Vitamins, 100%. So vitamins like vitamin C is so good for the skin, for collagen repair, for immune system, for brain thinking. Clearly, you know, there's fish oil, omega-369, helps with some cholesterol issues. Vitamin D especially. We check vitamin D in all the patients because like 80% of us are low on D.
Really?
And it causes us to be tired.
Because we're inside all the time.
Exactly.
On our phones. We need to get outside and inside.
Exactly.
Now, you know what I admire too? Because I've known you for probably 3 to 4 years, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, 4 to 5, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And your skin is always flawless.
Yeah.
That's some of them peptides, I have to tell you. There's actually one called GHKCU. It's a copper peptide, which is so beneficial. It actually helps with skin, nails, and helping with complexion. You take this and you inject it, and it helps with your hair to grow, nails to get thicker, your skin to be, helps with some wrinkles sometimes. It helps with anti-aging. So we're kind of preventing our aging in a slow sense.
You're scratching your head about what's up now.
Wait, so how often do you take these shots?
So it depends on the shot that you need. So some you can take daily. Some like the GLPs you take weekly. Some that you'll have to be prescribed like 5 days on, 2 days off, so your body doesn't get used to it. And then some are some trials. So you do like 2 months and then you take a break, and then you do this depending on the peptide.
I do have a question, a comment, a thought, because I know various people have people that have various diseases are sometimes afraid of how they're going to be impacted by the GLPs or some of the peptides. Do you want to explain how you work with clients that come in with certain things?
Certain problems. So like, are you saying like diabetes or something of that sort?
Diabetes,
Hypertension.
What's it?
Cholesterol. Right.
Cholesterol
Inflammation.
issues, inflammation.
Is that gout? No, that's
Gout?
not gout.
Well, you can. I
You
think
can
gout.
from uric acid or build up.
But anytime you have a client that comes in with various, what you call it?
Chronic disease.
Chronic
Chronic
problems.
disease, yeah.
Well, we're going to address it, right? So peptides are helpful for inflammation. And pretty much diseases are some type of inflammation in your body. You know, when it has diabetes, too much sugar production, inflammation of kidneys could be the problem, inflammation of, pancreas, things of that sort can affect your levels, even cholesterol. So inflammation of the liver, causing you to kind of not digest the fats correctly. Everything is truly inflammation-based for the most part. Something is triggering incorrectly. So peptides can help with that. So that's how I talk to the patient. Hey, we need to get your inflammation down, your immune system stronger. Those are the basis of you to feel better. because that will solve a lot of the problems.
So it's not like you see a client and say, oh, go take this. You take a very comprehensive intake. You get a lot of information from your clients before you start.
I do. If you get my questionnaires or
Yeah,
my paperwork,
yeah,
they're looking at me like, this is signing a contract for something. And I'm sorry, I got to know.
It's about a 25-page document. No, it's not that long.
That's good because
Yeah.
because this is not a one pill, one shot solves. It's tailored to the patient.
100%.
Yeah.
Tailored
And that's
to the
why
patient.
I mentioned, because I know how detailed you are with what you do. You just don't say, okay, you need to take this shot or this thing to get better. You really want to know who the client is and what they've got going on physically and sometimes even emotionally.
Emotionally, quite a bit, actually. Yeah, a lot of patients come talk to me about what things are going on and how they're feeling. And, you know, I'm not a therapist, but sometimes I feel like I am one because, you know, when patients come talk to me. But, you know, it just help them through the ways because, you know, your emotional health is going to affect your physical health. So there's got to be a fine balance of that. And you've got to be willing to take that step to discuss those. You know, I had a patient recently who opened up and had depression for many years and then never really talked about it. And I had no idea until they opened up. So I said, you can open up with me anytime. I'm going to be here for you. You know, that's what I'm here for. Yeah. You can talk to me. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out a way to make you feel better.
That's why he's such a great person.
Yeah. but the thing I like that you're doing and what you're talking about, it's almost like we need to individuals take back control of our bodies from a perspective of we know our bodies, and if you don't spending time with yourself, listening to what your body is saying.
A lot of times patients will tell me what's going on, and I say, you know your body best. And when you tell me these things going on, then it helps me easily solve what's going on or figure out what problems could be occurring, you know. Because all of us, we know our body best. We know how we function daily, how it impacts our life if we have something to go on, how we react to certain things. You guys know best, right? As a patient, they all know best. So it's important as a provider to listen to the patient, not just say, okay, your numbers show this, this, and this. This is med you need. Like, no. What's going on, the full picture, holistically? Are we doing well diet? Are we doing well exercise? Like, what can we do as a full lifestyle change to be better for your health?
And that's what wellness really is.
Yes.
That's what Vicki was kind of speaking earlier, is we're mind, body, soul. We're all of this. And so I don't want to just live and just exist.
No, man, not at all.
I want to live well, and whether it's longevity, but not have some of the... We are going to age, but how do you age gracefully and age well?
Yeah.
Age well.
Because you and I talked about it, we don't just age to be aging. I think, you know, we get to a point where we think we don't have control and we just let things go. And we start to avoid, number one, we avoid certain things. We avoid looking at what's truthful. And how can you address what's going on within yourself, within your body, in a holistic way when you start to avoid things? Well, we sometimes avoid out of fear.
Yeah.
You know, aging is like, people just say, blame it on age, right? Oh, I'm just old.
No.
You know, aging is a disease itself, right? That's what we're doing with peptides too, helping you live longer. There's things like NAD out there, if you guys have heard of NAD injections. NAD plus, people are taking them quite a bit. We offer those as well.
What is NAD?
So NAD is helpful for the cells and with energy. So this NAD plus, when you take it, it helps with the mitochondria of the cells and helps the cells to live longer. So cells aren't dying as fast. It's because when we get older, cells die a lot more quickly. They're not resilient. And this NAD helps with not only our energy, but helps our cells live longer so we feel better.
I need to ask Dr. Clark, in my pill,
you have one.
What is it? What's it?
The hormone.
Your
My
hormone
hormone
pill.
pill.
Yeah.
I brought peptides in there.
Now you have to ask Jonathan about
need to
that.
ask
And no, it's going to be hormones more
Hormones.
like,
Okay, so what's the difference between a hormone and a peptide?
So hormones are your body has naturally hormones and produces those for regulation of certain things. You know, men, a lot more testosterone, female has testosterone as well. You know, estrogen, estradiol, that's important in the hormones, progesterone. All those are regulated and they make the body do different things and actions to feel yourself, right? Whether it's going to be, you know, libido, energy, burning fat, gaining muscle. Some of those hormones do that. We naturally have those. So as we get older, you know, we lose those hormones and get less. As for testosterone gets less, estradiol gets less, things that we need replenished. And I don't know if you heard, but recently FDA took a lot of negative things and black box warnings for testosterone replacement for females, because a lot of hormone replacement for females was not really, was kind of frowned upon. But nowadays we're getting this, and we're seeing results in patients living longer, healthier, not suffering through menopause, hot flashes. I've seen this video that was kind of iconic on Instagram of this lady it was like a cold environment outside, and she had hot flashing, and all of a sudden you see steam. I mean, it's a real deal. You can't say that it's not, So we've got to treat these things.
Thank God for the hormones.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Clark.
Yes.
Because I was trying to think of the relationship with the hormone and then the peptide.
Yes.
So the peptides unlock the hormone to do.
Yeah, they actually can help with hormones as well. Hormone regulation. Okay. There's one called PT141. So as we in a couple, right, get older, sometimes attraction is lost with that couple because you've seen them for so long, right? This PT141 actually triggers you to have that sexual attraction back again. And it makes you kind of have that flare and that kind of fire.
Oh, look at me.
So that's another one that helps for libido. It's indicated actually now by FDA for females to help with libido and things of that sort. But males can use it too, and then you can, feel a fire again. Another one is because...
What is that called again for those that might be listening?
PT141. So,
PT141.
Light the fire.
We go and say the peptide that lights the fire.
There you go.
PT141.
Yes.
Wow.
So it does different hormone things. Kisspeptin is another one for males that we can give to females too. It regulates hormones, helps with naturally building your testosterone instead of taking an injection. For some of the younger men that can't be on injections, don't want to have fertility. Because, some hormones can affect fertility in male. If you take too much testosterone that's foreign, it can make you not have children.
Oh. So it's really important to work with
age and...
but it's also, you need to be very clear and know yourself.
You have to know, you have to really know yourself.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that I think we had a short conversation on was the stem cell, because you just did some research on stem cell.
I'm actually certified now in regenerative medicine from that international organization, which is great. We did a lot of stem cell infusions, stem cell treatments. Some of them are FDA are okay in the U.S. and FDA approved, some are not. So in other countries it's better. But they actually help. So stem cells are going to be the cells that are non-differentiated. So what that means is when we're babies, growing in the womb, we have all these stem cells creating bone cells, skin cells, heart cells, all these things. So when we use peptides with also antioxidants, immune regulating things, anti-inflammatory regulating things, we can actually give a full regimen, infuse stem cells, and actually help with some diseases get better. So it's known to help with some disease like Parkinson's to improve movement, help with dementia for more cognition. I'm not going to say it's going to cure these things, but it definitely can benefit patients quite a bit, not non-medication wise, because these stem cells will go to the area of need and regenerate those cells.
So it's slowing down the process of whether Parkinson's or Alzheimer's.
And it can reverse a little. A little, yes.
So, yeah.
And the stem cells are coming from your body.
So some can come from your body. Those are going to be ones that if you get like some fat, you can filter the fat out in a lab, do it correctly, and then infuse it in a patient, whether it's IV or into the joint or whatever area we need. Or they can come from donors such as placental donors or umbilical donors, Wharton jelly. And they always test, the donors for certain problems, make sure they're healthy at a certain age range. And then those are actually going to be universal stem cells. The ones from yourself, you can't give it to other people unless they're positive for the same blood type. But usually you're going to use something like Wharton's jelly or placental that are universal.
Wow.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's. But I just go back to how he created us. It's all
there.
The body is wonderful.
Isn't it just an amazing instrument?
And so the question becomes sometimes, why do we take what's artificial and plant and use instead of using what's natural? Because everything we've talked about basically is natural. It's not some artificial stuff.
So amino acids put together, in a different sequence that help you, like a protein. It's going to be things like your own cells, or cells that actually can build your own cells back, right? Change into different cells. So it's things that we can just trigger the body to do its work, right? Because the body is a machine in its own. And it can do things, and many things, right? Complex things. And if we have these resources where we can provide, these keys and locks for the body to do it, why not? Why do that then put a foreign chemical?
Yeah. Well, I think I know an answer, but I'm not going to say
No,
it.
that we all kind of know the answer, but we will
We're not
not
going
go there.
You're not going to get me. They have to come knocking on my door.
What is that?
That's my next
Makes you get
question.
tickled. Yeah.
And I'm glad I got to move off that. So we talked a little bit about some misconceptions.
Yeah.
But can you kind of go a little bit more into that? Because this, I'm really interested in, it's not getting the fountain of youth and necessarily looking younger. I don't mind. I'm grateful I'm the age I am and looking forward to, but it's feeling better and being able to still do things.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about the misconceptions that somebody who may be 50, 60, 70, thinking, well, this is just old age, this is just arthritis. I just put my cream on and I just got to sit here because it's our life. Like, what can they do?
So just, you got to think about it in the big picture, right? So do you want to just continue to put a Band-Aid on things, or do you want things to regenerate? Do you want things to improve and actually get better? Or you want to heal, or do you want to just topically just, take care of some things and just kind of go by? If we have the resource to be able to regenerate, the resource to be able to heal yourself, I mean, we need to go that route, because then you can live longer with pain-free. You can do more things, see your grandbabies, grab them. We don't want to be that same old person in the rocking chair, just because you're in pain and is stuck in the chair. We want to be able to move. We don't want to be in a wheelchair. We don't want to have, those things that can happen as we age and kind of fall. Big thing is falling, right? So as my history of, of geriatrics, fall is going to be the worst nightmare for any old person, because that's going to cause them to get less and less mobile, have more issues. So with regenerative medicine and peptides, we're making people stronger, getting people energy to get out there and do things. So overall, it's going to help you just stay living longer and protect yourself from things like falls and things of that sort.
But then you couple it with an activity. So it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
So it's not just, hey, let me give you this gel, give you this shot or whatever. It's also, now listen, what are we eating?
Yeah.
Drinking our water.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get hit from a lot of different directions.
Water right there.
Yeah,
Drink. So it's really, it's a lifestyle, and it's not a fix.
No, I embed that in my patients from the beginning. I set that expectation. I say, hey, this isn't a magical injection that's going to make you just lose weight. It will, but do you want to lose the wrong weight and only lose the muscle and be very frail and not looking so good and have Ozempic face? We got to lose the right amount of weight each month. We got to do it the right way. We got to maintain muscle. Again, what sets my clinic apart is that I'm looking at all those things. I'm doing scans in the body to look at muscle mass versus fat mass. I'm looking at different things as they progress. I'm not giving you a shot and saying, thanks for your money, go on ahead and just lose the weight. No, we want to lose it properly, because long-term wise, I want it to be beneficial.
yeah, because you made me go get that. He didn't
A
make
DEXA
me.
scan.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Javette talked about her.
Yeah.
We did a
She
show.
said it was disrespectful. I do agree.
So it's called a
DEXA scan.
DEXA scan.
Yeah.
So you actually look at.
I look at
Yes,
that as
it
my
is.
numbers, and I tell the patient, hey, your muscle mass is going less in your legs. Do more leg workouts for me. Do these kind of things. Your arms are getting weaker, or let's say your fat is building up more in your abdomen. We need some more crunches. We need some more things. I'm looking at the muscle trends, because either we want the muscle to stay the same or the muscle to grow, depending on the goal of the patient. But we want the fat go down, right?
Yeah, she was right. She said it was disrespectful.
It is
Oh.
disrespectful. I did. Yeah.
The scan itself, we're just
The scan.
The scan itself.
The
Yeah,
results
it's a
of
private-
the
it's
scan.
a
results are
private-
great.
it's a private
No,
scan
because
we look at.
yeah, I've given you both of mine, so it's every time I've gotten it done, I just look at it and say, oh my gosh.
And your progress, you kept all your muscle and lost purely fat, which is all you're doing, right?
Because she listened.
I'm trying my best.
John has been,
I'm trying.
And drinks her water.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I have the privilege of seeing he and Dr. Clark a couple of times a week, so yeah.
It's nice that we check on you. We
Yeah,
make
they
sure.
oh yeah,
we
they
always
do.
check on you.
They do.
But see, that's the other part of it too, is having accountability partners. Because sometimes you can start off really strong and say that I want to do this, but then the effort or whatever, you may not see the results when you want or whatever. So having that accountability
It's great.
Yeah. expectations, accountability, and also just looking at, real life situation, right? Hey, what can you do? What's going on? Yeah, maybe you didn't lose as much this month. Well, let's talk about why. Well, then explain to me why. Well, let's work on it next month. Let's do that. I'm encouraging, I don't want you to feel, there's always the time where we could possibly plateau with these injections.
Really?
And especially for females. I mean, men, you'll see them knock it off real quick. But females with their hormones and things, it definitely can have a plateau, but we've got to overcome that. And I set that expectation at the beginning. Like, hey, we may hit a plateau, but we'll work on it together. We'll figure out ways to go around it.
Yeah, man, get it
real quickly.
Eat for 2 days and poof, lost 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I get it. Not eat for a week and lose 1 pound. Anyway, let's go. We're getting ready to close up out of here. So I want to follow up with this question of we scratched the surface, but what are some emerging trends?
Yes.
That are happening in the field of wellness right now?
Wellness. So peptides is a big one, right? And I would definitely do your research when you find your provider. Make sure they know what they're giving you and what dosing in the right amount, when to take breaks, all those things so it can work properly. That's a big emerging thing. When it comes to like aesthetic treatments and things more, aesthetic-wise cosmetic, we're looking at more biostimulants. So no longer just filling the face to make it look wide and having that kind of filler. It's more of injecting something that creates your own collagen to build. So it's newer technology that's helping. It's been out for a while, but people are leaning towards the natural look, right? We want to look natural. So emerging treatments are going to be everything that you can think of, wellness and natural.
Well, when you just, okay, wait. Okay, so you made it, I'm trying to think what you said. It was different than just an injection.
Yeah. So biostimulants.
Biostimulants, which basically is like a peptide actor, but a key that unlocks it's
a collagen production. So it can a cascade of different effects on the body to build more collagen. So in the area. So as we're injecting and doing these now, the body's looking more natural, as opposed to in the past we did filler like HA filler and you're looking full and cheeky, and now people are getting rid of that, melting that and dissolving it and doing more natural laser treatments, things of that. We offer that at Esthetique De Luxe in my aesthetic clinic too, but just more natural looking and more, everything's going to be more natural and wellness oriented, I'd say.
So not just filling with the lips and you see these big,
exactly
not naturally looking,
yes,
but it's injecting in whatever your body naturally produces.
Yeah, it can produce the collagen. So results aren't immediate, but it takes time for them to build, but it's your body building.
It's your body versus one day you have no lipstick, so you got a balloon.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
That's great. Emerging trends, some things that are coming up. I'm not looking to, I have to do something.
Oh gosh.
Laugh lines.
Yeah.
Wait, a laugh line is this right here?
Laugh lines will be kind of here.
Oh.
And then this will be more like smile, I guess, crows, you would say? Yeah, crows, that's what we call it more often.
Okay. Gosh,
talking beauty now.
You know what? Johnson has a wealth of information, so we'll just have to have him back.
We do. We need to make sure, and we want to have your information. Let people know how they can follow you and find you.
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram at care_de_lux, LUXE. On my Instagram as well, I'm going to be the Lux NP, so THE_Lux, LUXE_NP. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm on the east side, right by Mueller. I'm on 38th and Half an Airport, real close by. I love to have people come over and just talk, and have a consult, because if you're interested in these things, I'd be very happy to provide those for you.
Yeah, we just love having you on. Like, John, you're so easy to talk to.
Thank you.
And like that old commercial that says, like the Bosley commercial, and I am a client. He's a client, y'all. He's a walk-in billboard. And so it's evident what it's doing naturally in your body. And thank you for just sharing that information.
Anytime, happy to. I'm very happy to.
Yeah. So with that, God, thank you all again for joining us today with my beautiful co-host, as always, Ms. Vicki Lynn Merriweather. We'll be back again in another week. Make sure to follow us on Gone Mad Productions. I'm Lady Madelyn Patterson, faith-led, purpose-driven, voice-empowered. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.